You're asking me, do I think the system's fair? Wake up, look around. We got people everywhere, underprivileged, discriminated against. The real crime is in America, with the system inflicting all this pain and all this hurt on our youth. And you're asking me, is the system fair?
So this would look like introduction, your piece, my piece. That sound good? 3, 2, 1, wow.
My name is Yusef Presley. I'm with Destination Innovation, Home to Progeny, which focuses on juvenile justice reform.
Since I've met him day one, he's had this infectious personality. He has this positive personality, but you can always see that tinge of underlying pain that he's gone through.
This used to be the old Wichita Children's Home. You know, it's just like surreal to just kind of see this, that it's been torn down and the way it is now. How would you feel if you was taken for your mom at 5? Let me take you away from your family. Let me ship you miles and miles away. So it all started when I was about 5 years old. My mom and my sister had got into a fight, and my mom went in to spank her with the belt, and the metal part of the belt had hit her across her eye. And so my sister went to school the next day with the black eye. Now, I remember a playground being right here, had a bicycle track over this way. I had been here multiple times throughout my life. After that happened, they came to my school and checked on me, just like stripped me naked and started trying to figure out, you know, okay, he has marks on his back. They ended up eventually taking me into care. I remember that day that I didn't know, like, why are these people checking me? You know, it was confusion. I was like, what are you guys looking for? Where are you taking me now? Like, what's going on? They just kept saying just little things like, it's gonna be okay. You're just gonna be here with us for a little while. Next thing I know, that little while turned to months, weeks, a couple years. How would you feel if every day you go to a place and you're told when to shower, when to eat, when to sleep, and even if you have to ask to use the bathroom? How would you feel? So whenever I seen the black trash bag, I just knew that it was time to go to the next place. Everything I had was going in there, and that black bag was coming with me wherever I go.
Remember when we first started Light Think? And people used to say, why don't you have these 16-passenger vans?
Yeah.
Why don't you put the logo on the back of the truck, or why don't you put a sign in your yards? I said, I want my boys to feel normal.
For real.
So nobody ever knows.
That's facts.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
Think about the nuances of coming into a person's home. The energy of feeling like they don't belong there is a lot for a child to pick up and process. Getting acclimated to whatever rules they have in their house is a lot for a child to process. Rebelling against a system that feels like it doesn't even want you is natural.
I kind of was overzealous. I didn't know how to structure you because you were so young. And so my way of thinking I was holding you accountable to your behaviors, I took away your toys. You found out when you came home from school, you totally went from 0 to 100 on me. And I'm over there chasing you through the whole neighborhood. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I'm chasing you through the whole neighborhood, and I just got tired of chasing you. I said, okay, I'm done. Let me just call him in as a runaway.
In the beginning, I didn't know how to properly let that anger and sadness out. So it transferred to destruction and punching holes in walls and kicking doors, and all because I was hurt.
Man, I haven't seen you in a long time.
Been a while. How are things going?
Man, it's going good. Got some ups, some downs. You know how it goes, you know.
Well, you remember the first time we met, right?
Yeah, I do. We were outside Lamont Love's house, if I recall.
And you were having a rough time, and I stood in front of the door when you were trying to get out, and you charged me. And I was like, wow, this is how it's gonna start. But I just remember saying, you know what? He needs help. He needs somebody to be there for him. No matter how many times you told me to go away and not come back,
Yeah.
I still showed up. Your classroom used to be right inside here, and we'd come out that door.
Yeah. See if I got it still. I don't.
When we say we need more systems around young people, especially young people that are higher risk in the foster care system, does not mean incarceration. It does not mean drugging these kids. It means creating spaces for these young people to be able to thrive.
They would be like, man, Yusuf needs somebody to talk to. And I was like, can I take him outside and ball?
Yeah.
You know, talk to him. And they'd be like, if you can calm him down, I was like, that'll calm him down.
That'll calm him down. DoorDash.
We want to talk about how kids are making poor decisions, but we don't want to talk about that they don't have access to healthy food. We don't want to talk about how their families are not getting the proper mental health care that they need.
Now, in the refrigerator, you should see some salad mix, or it's over there we can do the salad and cut the tomatoes and stuff.
What the tomato supposed to look like?
They're red and round.
Well, not.
You'd always have a story on why you couldn't do the right thing. Then you get mad, you go outside. You remember tearing up all my flower pots, throwing them?
Yeah, those was your mom's.
Yep, my mom's, yep. Everybody would be like, you just need to take this boy back. I don't know why you keep trying to work with him. I said, nah, we're gonna get Yusuf on the right path.
I was tired of going home to home. I was tired of being told what to do.
Y'all was my last home. Y'all was one of my first homes as well, so.
Minus the hospitalizations.
Yeah.
And I felt like every time they brought you back, they either added another medication or they added more of a dosage.
I remember I was taking Seroquel, Adderall, Trazodone.
Oh, Trazodone, yep. Risperdal, Adderall, Risperdal, Seroquel.
I wasn't eating for days and days. I'm sleeping and not eating, and I'm waking up angry. I just knew something wasn't right.
How are we doing right by these young people if we are over-medicating, underserving when it comes to mental health?
Let me ask you, can I put you on medication that you don't want to take? Would you do it? How would you feel?
When you first came to my house, you was hell on wheels. It was, whew, they had you so screwed up, they came, you was on 1,600 milligrams of Seroquel. And that was the first thing I did. Without a doctor's order, I cut that all the way down to 200 milligrams, just enough to keep you leveled out just a little bit, because it's like they trying to tranquilize you or something.
It was this lady, she was my medication provider for years. She would never look me in the eye. She would say this key word, this is to help you. But in turn, I felt like it wasn't helping.
In the beginning, I was like, oh, this kid's gonna get in trouble. He's gonna go to penitentiary. He's gonna stay in trouble because he's at school and he's gonna hit one of these teachers, and then it's gonna be something I can't get him out of.
When you have a young person, and particularly in Kansas, that does not have a large Black demographic, that child stands out in those classroom situations. It could be a loud room full of kids talking, but that Black voice is gonna stand out. Now add that layer of having a child that's in the foster care system. They don't have parents to advocate for them. They don't have parents to come up to the schools and fight for them. So when they get in trouble, it's magnified.
There was an instance later in my life where I was getting removed from class. As they're trying to move me, I ended up assaulting one of the guards.
We're at Judge Riddell's Boys Ranch, what used to be. Used to play baseball and kickball right over in here.
You're told when to eat, you're told when to go to sleep, you're told when to shower.
Then the building went along right here.
And every day, I just had thoughts about just running away. But then another thought would creep in, where would I go?
It almost feels like going to a graveyard and looking at old skeletons and old bodies. It brings back unwanted, unhappy memories.
That's when I started to collect fines and fees for court and probation.
I know one time we was on Morris. What is that place called on Morris?
JDF.
JDF. We was at JDF and she wanted me to sign some child support papers. I said, I'm not signing no child support papers. It's my nephew and I love him to death, but I did not push him out. I am not paying child support.
So basically you would be paying them to keep me, basically.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. So the fact that you're in their care and I'm your guardian, they wanted me to compensate them for having you. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Yusuf was still on probation when I first met him. He was on probation because his license was revoked. Being around Yusuf all these years and watching how he cycles back in and out of jail and knowing that he's not out there doing vicious and violent crime, and knowing that the catalyst to him constantly getting pulled over is most of the times he's just on his way to work trying to pay off the fines and fees that have accrued since he was in the juvenile justice system.
You want me to contribute to society? But every time I take one step forward, you push me 2 steps backwards. It's been this way since I was 5.
Just like last month, I got arrested up in Kansas City. I got pulled over because police officer said my tent was too dark. And they ran my information, said I didn't have a license, took me to jail, bonded out. The next morning I come out, car totaled. Somebody hit it in the middle of the night. So it's just like, damn, I just, I didn't take it too hard because I just know, like, we're dealing with adversity and stuff like that. And I just know when it rains, it pours, But when it's done pouring, it's gonna shine again. So you just gotta keep your head up,
You want me to get a job, but you take away my transportation. When I drive, you pull me over. Why? Because of the color of my skin. You want me to pay my fines, but you lock me up. What sense does that make? Councilman Johnson.
Good to see you.
What's you got of any progress with like the driving legislation or anything like that? Because that's one big thing that has like held me back.
Revoke should be worked on this session.
This session.
I think politics killed it last year. When it comes up, I'll let you know, because you can always go testify. One of the things I learned about the legislature is when you talk about it in those terms, like, yes, my license is revoked, but you want me to be a responsible citizen, you want me to pay this back, you want me to go to work. Well, I need a vehicle, but I need a license for that, even if it's restricted. So, that testimony means something to them.
And I definitely would like to go up there and testify.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
Now's the time. We all need to come together. It's time to give the youth who are underprivileged, unheard, it's time to give them a voice.
And this one, y'all was much younger. You was so sweet.
My aunt came in the picture and was coming to adopt me. That's when I was able to actually be around my mom.
This was the last picture y'all took together, you and your mom.
She tried her best to show love to me, like that my mom was supposed to give to me. Like,
once I got settled in here a little bit, I realized it's gonna get worse if I leave here.
That feeling of just being with blood was different. It was a good feeling as opposed to being in group homes with 30 other boys and, fighting with them all the time.
I started thinking about my dad, I don't want to be like him. I don't want to be going in and out of prison.
We have so much work to do when it comes to our systems, when it comes to our young people. We owe them better. And we can't have a conversation about what young people are doing when adults are the catalyst to the majority of the mess?
Do I blame the state for taking my mom away? Now that I'm older, I feel like there's always something a person can do. She maybe could have, went, even harder to get me, because like fighting the courts in terms of custody, but at the same time, it's just so much fight a person has in them. So, you a mother figure to me? Because, everybody knows what my mom lacked, you try to provide. So it was kind of like, I got you, Don't worry about that, I got you.
I mean, I always had y'all, even when y'all was with y'all mom, I mean, y'all came over with the kids. It was just 2 of y'all. So 2 more extra kids wasn't no problem. You're my nephew. I'm the only other person that's gonna get you or take care of you, so I couldn't just let you stay in the system.
This is my Dear Mom letter. Dear Mom, I just want to say the love I have for you will never die. I came a long way without you. There's much pain and hurt built up over the years. But at the end, all I've ever wanted was for you to be a mother figure in my life. Our relationship is a missing piece to the puzzle of my life. Before God takes me from this earth, I pray that I get a real relationship with you, a mother-son relationship with you. Living life without you is something I never imagined as a kid. There's been moments in my life that no one else has mattered but you. To this day, you still do.